Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another WWE Champions video. Today we're going to talk about Penta Zero once again, but this time I actually got a really interesting moveset to go through with you guys that I think is probably going to be the best moveset you can possibly run with Penta. Now, a few things to clarify in this video. I actually recorded this video already. Wednesday, I did it. It's currently Saturday. But a lot of things have changed. The account that I am running, a lot of things have also changed in game. And also, when I recorded that video, I did a lot of things wrong that I think I could make up in this. And now the graphics are not technically going to be right, but I do want to show you what I did wrong and how we're going to fix that in this video with Penta. If you haven't seen any of the other videos, I've kind of been saying this Penta's pretty bad. Like, not worth anything for 7-star. He's kind of just a 6 gold guy. Nowadays, I think you can definitely make an argument on this guy now for 7-star, especially with the way I'm running him. That I think is actually kind of viable, because in case you didn't know, the 7-star damage tracker that is made by Champions Chat puts Penta at around 400 to 500 million damage at 7-star bronze. The hardest I've actually seen him hit with gear is 450 mil, which, to be honest with you, is not a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, that would kill a normal 7-star bronze, but you add any real perks or health buffs or anything like that, and then Penta is not doing that much damage. This build should definitely be doing more than that, especially with gear. And we're going to do, this video is going to have no gear and with gear in this preview. As the last preview, I did not have his gear. I now do, and I can show you without gear and with gear what he's going to be doing. So Penta Zero, he's a striker, aggressive, modern. Our coach is, green 40, Robre 100, great for the new EO. Speaking of new EO, if you notice the belt on the right here, this belt can be shared with that EO, and I might do a preview with her with it at some point as well. Links is Mexico for any color 2, and the AAA as well as modern. And we have a gear that I will showcase later in the video. So he's got some amazing links, any color 2 and multi 2. AAA, there's not technically a lot of people, I believe, other than Penta. There's only 3 others. Iguana, Vikingo, and Psycho Clown. So there's only 4 people in the game that have it. However, I actually like all 4. I think all 4 are good. I only have Penta and Mr. Iguana, but, Psycho Clown I'm hoping to get sooner rather than later, and Vikingo, who knows. But they're all pretty good characters. So let's start with the moveset here. We are running tricolor here in this one. And the reason why we're running tricolor and not the standard red, green, where you run the diving double foot stomp, his camel clutch, and a sling blade, is that moveset, its only way of getting more damage out of him is obviously increasing the multi-gem strength, and just running plates. And those plates that increase only 100% really per plate, and one of those plates is Ministry Business, which is really rare. Even with gear, he's only getting a 400% gem boost for a 4-click build. Whereas with this build, we're going to get a lot more damage output than that. So this build, I can already tell you, hits harder. The only thing I can't tell you is how much it actually does at a max level, because I have hype. And I've used him in Showdown, the new one in particular with Balor, but buffs affect me, hype affects me, because I'm only hype 3. People that are hype 4 with advantage get, significant things on them. So I don't really know, and obviously 7-star, this guy will completely change as well. So But let's get into the moves. Starting off with Mexican Destroyer, 6 charge, green, deal 450,000 damage, gain 9 black MP. Then deal 450,000 damage again and increase your green gem damage by 200% for 1 turn. And that will not affect bonus damage. Now, again, 400% red gem from a plate or 200 built in on your green is much higher than 400% for red. So this is going to be a pretty significant boost. Our diving double foot stomp is our main way of getting damage. Make a 6x6 random Rhea in a multi of strength 6. And hardcore, if opponent's class is trickster, we're going to do 880,000 damage and increase our red gem by 100%. The good news is, if you do fight a trick, this is actually still useful, as Penta Driver here, 10 charge black finisher, deal 10 mil damage, which is the second highest, at least, finisher in the game, right behind Vikingo, or maybe they're the same. They might be the same, but he's right there pretty much with Vikingo's move damage, and make 24 random into red. So he is making red still with this build. Again, though, this build definitely relies on the plates that we will get into when we get to that belt. Entourage. So you might notice on the left of the screen, I have Roxanne, Stain, Santahoga, Chelsea, and that's what I did run before. But I don't know what was wrong with me that day, as we don't need Santahogan to run this a build. So let's maximize his damage we can maximize it way more. So we are running Roxanne for green move 4, red move 4, and we have red move 4. So this build, this is 9. This is 9 MP, right? This is 9 MP. You do technically need a +1 or Mexico link in order to get the Mexican Destroyer off. So I will actually run Santahogan for this because you do need that. Let's say that you're not running anything like that, any links. You're gonna run that. You get any color moves deal 40 for more health. Any color gems 18,000, and any color start with 1. And then we have Zombie Chelsea for green 40, multi 60. So depending on what you have link-wise, because yes, if you can get rid of Hogan and run multi characters like Bamrock, or if you have Leo, Leo will be way better to run. As think about it, that 6x6 area of strength 6, that's 36 gems. For a 6x6 area, you add Bamrock, you're giving him another 36 gems on top of that, and obviously Leo would add way more on top of that as well, over 100 gems for him to break more of. So that is pretty important. So we will start with a Santahogan, and then I'll show you it with Mem. Belt is the important thing. So I am running a 150 gem belt and Tier 6 Fury 3. However, my Fury 3s are not as good, and you can definitely be better. Why that is because this is just an all move 80. I do not have a Tier 6 Fury 3 black move 250. Somehow, I don't know how I don't, but having that would be much better, as again, that finisher is 10 mil base. So having that would be significantly better. It would add 20 million damage. Or maybe 15, 18 million more damage to your finisher, and that's a pretty significant buff to have, considering it's just a metal. So if you can get that, definitely put that on him. Then our plates are the most important thing to the build. We are running double green rumbles, which, in case you don't know, the mini green rumble, Beware My Power, whenever you destroy 20 plus gems, generate 20 green, and Enigma, whenever you destroy 30 plus, generate 30 green. So the reason why we do this is because the finisher only makes 24 red. We're hoping to break enough to where we can still keep multis on the board and then flood the board with green. In a sense, think of Penta Zero as a little bit toned down version of OTC. However, at the same time, he is a little bit easier to run because MP is not an issue for him compared to Roman. So some pros and cons for the two of them. So let's go. We're going to fight Big Papa Pump here, and I'm going to show you how this build functions in a real match. I'm going to set this back to ×2 just so that you guys can see it a little bit better. Greens are at 192. So again, we're going to gain 9 black MP. Now, the gear is still technically on for me, so it makes everything turn 1. But we would have at least, 1 or 2 MP on this move so that the gain 9 would still fill this move up. Like so. So it's going to gain that 9 MP and it would increase by 200%, bringing us up to 577,869. We are then going to throw down the multis. Just like so. Strength 6. So our reds are doing 233, so a ×6 red is only 1.6, which isn't really that much. Greens are doing 3.9. And now, mind you, though, this is the bare minimum Penta can be. Penta will only get stronger from here. Again, this is a 20 mil fin. Yours can be much higher than that. Tier 6 metals might make this go to 0. I actually don't know. I haven't played with him enough to know. Because I've only been hype 3, which definitely does make mine go to 0. But you'd have to let me know with yours. So you're going to hit the Penta driver. We do the damage. We make the red. We break enough to where we set down that first, and then the rest comes down, and we do that as well. And then they die. There has also been cases where, yeah, you might just break 30 red automatically, or just 30 gems automatically, and then the whole board will just become green, and you will definitely get all multis. So I will run that again, actually, and see if we can get it to where it's just the whole board. And then we're going to swap it over. We're going to take Santa Hogan out, and put Mem in there if you're someone that has maybe a +1 all MP. Or I don't think you need +1 all, I think it's just +1 green MP. Or if you're running him in Showdown and you have the Mexico link. Because, well, there's only 4 AAA, there is plenty of good Mexico characters that you can run with. Like Eddie, Phoenix, Acro Penta, LWO Ray, Showboat Dom. Right, there's plenty of characters to run with him for that. So again, here we go. We'll drop it again. That is definitely, I think, enough of a break. Yes, it was, and that's the whole board. So any of those remaining multis will become the big green ones, which is pretty solid, actually. Again, I don't know how much this is going to do. I don't know how much this is doing. When I used him, it was doing over 200 something. Which again doesn't sound like a lot but compared to that 450, but you gotta think that they're 7-star, they're geared as well. So just keep that in mind when we look. And mind you, this is bare minimum. Penta. So let's say you're +1. Let's say you're running tag link stuff. You can swap out Santa Hogan for Mem Rock. Now, if you have Leo, obviously run Leo. Instead of having a 6x6 of strength 7, you'd have ×9s, which is definitely better. So if you can do that, definitely do that. I also want to mention before I forget, Penta is a hot tag character. And he will increase his wildcard gem by 100%, which does affect this build significantly. Because of him being mainly multis, a lot of his damage actually pretty much doubles in a way. So him being into a tag match, especially with AAA characters, because I will do a hot tag video probably on him, and we'll kind of showcase that, it makes his damage go up significantly more. Tag matches, he will have no issue doing pretty big damage. So don't worry about him in tag setting. Alright, so there we go. Again, you would have at least 1 MP, because when you start a match you get 1 MP. So that 9 will get over carry on. And then we will put down the 6x6. So now these are ×7s. So my reds now do 1.7, and these should be at 4.2. So we're over 4 mil now on these greens. We do lose a bit of move damage because we're not running Hogan anymore. And there's the whole board again. There was the whole board once again. So as you can see, Penta's multis are the main thing that we're trying to proc, or get higher up, I should say. Because that's where he's getting the most damage output from, is from his multis, as he makes a lot of them. So that's where we want to go, right? Well, now let's go over his gear. So let's put on this graphic. This is a gear build. You need the gear. That graphic there is also Ron, because, you know, that's just how I am. And we'll now actually equip it to show you that this is a gear build. Now, if you don't know what his gear does, it's all color, 5 MP, and also it just looks good. Like, this gear is really, really cool. I actually really like this gear a lot. Penta always has cool gears, but this honestly might be my favorite Penta gear in the game. So it's really good. It's a really good gear. And also plus 5 move MP is a really good bonus, because it may not sound like a big deal. Like, okay, MP is, you know, always useful, but this allows our entourage to be completely changed. Like, completely changed. So, because our moves are 6 and 9, and our green move is going to fill the black move, we just need to get those 2 moves full. Now, interestingly enough, if you look at the graphic, I am running Roxanne and Santa Hogan still. If you don't know how much MP that is, that's, you know, that's our 5 from the gear. That's 4 more from Roxanne, another 1 from Hogan, and then an additional starting. That means we're at 11 red MP. It's so much MP that we literally don't need that. You don't need that much MP. So you can, again, run things a little bit differently. For instance, you can run Memrak and Sherry, so you can have times 11s on the board. And this would still be a turn 1. Or, if I have my math correct, that's 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that's right. The way I would run him, you're going to lose out. Now, mind you, this would probably be the way to go if you had Leo. If you had Leo, this is the way to go. And if you 7-star, you can run Leo and Mem. Mind you, 7-star, we get to run Mem all the time, which again is 36 more gens. And obviously, if you have Leo, that's a lot more. Obviously, I would like to see them make a new coach that is Leo, that is actually attainable. But right now, it's only Leo. But here's what we're going to run instead. If you have Leo, obviously run Leo, and this would be the way you would run him. But for us, we're going to run Santa Hogan, and we're going to instead swap Rox out King. So if you look at this, right, again, our gear is 5 MP, so that brings us to, 5, that is 6, that is 7, that is 8, and then we have plus 1, so that is 9 MP on the red, and that's 9 MP on both the green, the red, and the black. All of them are at 9 MP. So keep that in mind. They're all done pretty much. And yes, that means we went from strength 6s, or with a plus 1 at a 7, to now we're guaranteed doing 12s. And if we have plus 1 all, we can then have Mem on again, and then you can have strength 13. So we just doubled our multi-strength, which is kind of crazy. So again, having the gear, while it is only technically plus 5, is also realistically multi like 6 or multi 7, right? It just allows way more versatility on the trainers and coaches. So again, we're gonna gain our 9 black, 200%. This should be the same damage, yep. Except now we're making times 12s on the board. Just like that. Obviously, if you had Leo, man, this would be a very different. And again, 7-star, we're gonna have even more. We're gonna add more multi-strength. So our reds are now at 3.2. So they're way higher than they were before, and greens are now at 7.8 million. So 7.8 million per is pretty crazy. Drops them down. We're gonna connect those. That's a full recycle, and that's a kill. Just like so. Again, tag link stuff, you're going to get 100% built-in increase again, which will also affect your reds. Again, if you fight a trickster, you're going to increase your red gems even further. Is there a trick I can fight to actually show you that? I want to say Mem is right here. We can kind of show this off here. Because, yeah, getting that red boost is going to be useful. Like, against tricksters. Our green gem is much higher now, and our red gem is much higher now. And bam. So green gems are now over 600k. We're going to increase our red by 100%. And then we'll make our multis. So now our red times 12s are 6.7 million, and greens are at 8.2. So just even more consistent damage. It's amazing. There I completely missed, but I haven't had that happen very often. Actually, I haven't had that happen at all. That was the first time that happened. Oh, there they all went. The first time I actually ever had that happen to me. I'm surprised he can miss. Huh. Well, I guess keep in mind he can miss. That I don't think is going to happen that often, though. Is it just because we didn't have, like, any red on the board? I mean, here's the thing, too. If you're worried about that, at like especially at 7-star, just run red 3 coach. If you want, like, Naya is red, I believe red 3 and 30% were red. So if you're worried about that, don't worry, you'll be fine. Boom, there we go, and there's more green. Like so. So yeah, there is ways we can definitely prevent that. Hey, welcome back. Sorry about that cut. You know, for some reason my power had to go out right as I recorded this, so that's fun. Luckily I kept all that footage, and I didn't have to re-record this video for a third time. So, let's talk more about Penta here. So as you can see, right, you can technically miss, but it's pretty low chance. And if you are worried about that, I just want to showcase here. We have, I believe, Naya. Yes, Naya is red 3, red 30. So if you're a little worried about that, you can run her. At like for 7-star 2, if you want to just run her as an extra slot or whatever, that would work as well. If you are worried about this, I really don't see that really happening often. Like that, I've never actually thought it would happen. I didn't even know it could happen really because we made 24, but I guess it can, but I'm sure it will be. It's pretty rare. So let's go back to our moveset / builds again. If you have a +1 MP, I believe green, or you're running, the Mexico link, you can take Hogan off for Memrock or obviously Leo. So strength 13 there, or if you have Leo, these are going to be times 15s, which is actually kind of insane. It's a bit. It is a significant amount of multi-strength in general there. And obviously if you have both and you don't need Hogan, then you can run both of them for times 16s on the board, which is a lot. Times 6, I mean, that's not like that far away from OTC level. to be honest with you. So yeah, again, that's 7.8 million and 3.2 on the red. So here we go. And there's the whole board. And there we go. Yeah, again, if you are concerned about not blowing anything up, I highly suggest then running Naya, especially at 7-star, running Naya as like a backup, just to make sure that that doesn't happen really at all or ever. I actually didn't even know it can happen. So if you just are worried about that, then do that. As I do think damage-wise, especially if you have Leo, I don't think you're going to have to worry. Because, yeah, I'm pretty confident in saying you're going to do a lot more than 450 mil with this moveset, especially at 7-star. When you have more coach slots and stuff, and then, you know, if you fight a trick or you run him a hot tag, whatever, right? There's a lot of ways I think he's going to hit much harder than that. But in a one-on-one setting, I think he definitely will. So there's our green boost, there's our red boost. To me, though, this is how I think they intentionally made him so that he can be ran like this. So that's 6.9 and that is 8.2. That's pretty good. Mind you, this is before we're running Mexico. This is before we're running AAA Link. AAA Link obviously giving you +2 more multis on top of this, which is a very big boost as well. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Now, I also want to do this video again because I was like, well, maybe, you know, if the weekend shows up, maybe they'll do a moment. I don't know. You know, and I didn't know when this came out. And I also didn't know if he was the S tier for free when he came out. I was like, I have no idea. Now I know for a fact that he is. So a lot of people are getting him. Hence why I definitely wanted to redo the video so that you guys can better see him in general and, you know, just more things to look at and talk about with him. So that's kind of why I wanted to obviously do the re-recording as well. So yeah, Penta Zero. I don't know obviously how much this is actually doing due to the hype and stuff. I presume a lot. Again, tag matches he'll be even better. So, and which to me, to be honest with you, I think tag team is kind of what they want you to use him in, more so than like a feud setting. I mean, I think he'll be pretty alright in a feud setting, but I do think he's obviously doing more than 400, 500 mil. I'm guessing he is closer to the like 550 range at least, if not more. Again, but I'm saying by himself with the gear. And that is without Leo as well, I think. I think, you know, if you have Leo, you're probably looking closer to like 600, 650, or maybe more. Unfortunately, right, I just don't know how much this is going to do at a 7-star meta just because I'm way hyped through. I'll learn more about this once I'm hyped 4 and stuff and we can actually use him more competitive modes. But at the moment, I don't know enough. I know this build is going to hit harder than his other, even with doubling down on the Penta plate and Ministry Business plate. This build is hitting harder because, yes, 400% plate buff is not even close to 200% built in at all. So it's just not going to be close. So this build, I think, is superior pretty much in every way. The only real con that this build has is the fact that I guess it can miss. But I think that chance is like ungodly low. And again, if you want run Naya and it's even lower, possibly even not ever going to happen. So that's what I mean. I didn't even know he could miss until he did that. So it's a very unlikely chance that that will happen. And I'm sure in some tag teams and tag matches, you can make it so it physically never happens. So that is Penta. I do want to do like we do with reviewing, where I sit and I talk about him in the class that he's a part of, which is Striker. So I want to talk about all the strikers in the game and where does Penta lie between them? So, I have pretty much every striker in the game. The only real big one I'm missing is Axe. And from what I know, Axe is not hitting as hard as Penta. Penta does a lot more damage, I think, than Axe. From at least what I know of, a 6 gold 6 gold Axe, I think I've only ever seen him hit 200 mil. So even if we double that, Penta should be hitting more. Excuse me. Penta should be hitting more than Axe will. So I actually think Penta is probably better than Axe for the most part. Haku is a tough one because if you have everything, you have his gear, you have all the plates and stuff, I think you can make an argument that you would run Haku. I don't think Haku hits as hard, but everyone loves the MP reversal stuff and everything, so I do think Haku you can make an argument for. OTC does hit harder, and Jey Uso both hit harder, and I do think I would probably put Jey over Penta and Roman. Roman and Penta are kind of interchangeable just because Roman needs +1 all, middle line, so that he needs links. Penta technically doesn't from his build unless you want to push him even more to the limit. So, but Roman does hit harder. Roman, I believe at 7-star, can do like 1 billion around there. And Penta, unless we actually are in a tag match, is not going to do that. Penta in a tag match definitely will. He'll do probably like 2 bill in some cases, depending on who you run with him. So I'm not worried on Penta in that part at all. But yeah, I will say I think Jey is better as well. Blackman, I think you could also maybe make an argument, but I think I do prefer Penta over Blackman. So again, that maybe can be interchangeable, kind of like Haku. Eddie as well, I think can be interchangeable. Eddie does not hit as hard as Penta will. However, Eddie has the links with him, with Mexico. Also, Eddie has Eddie in China, which is a fantastic link as well. And this move is literally, I still consider this probably the best move in the game because it literally, if you hit this move, just your opponent has 2 options, and that's sub and Finn. If they don't have any of those options, they physically can't win. And he does really good damage. So I think you can interchange those two, to be honest with you, as well. And Eddie's also a hot tag. So, that depends on what you want to do playstyle wise. But yes, Penta does hit harder than Eddie, but Eddie has literally like the best defense / safety in the game. Like, it's not even close either. Like, he's just so good with that yellow move that it's really tough to deal with. And then the final character I want to talk about is RVD Hall of Fame. RVD has 2 gears as well. I only have the 1, but this also helps buff him a ton as well. And he's very heavy hitting. He hits harder than Penta. The only caveat that I have with Rob compared to Penta is Rob requires really, really, really rare plates to actually get stuff done. He requires very, very big plates, Drip and Steve Stick, in order to get heavy damage out. Now, mind you, if you have it, he's doing a bill. He's doing a bill, like, pretty easily. However, that's also, like, kind of board dependent, and if he doesn't have it, he's only doing about 300 to 500. So you could kind of make an argument there that Penta and Rob are pretty comparable. And actually, Rob would also have more reversals than Penta because he's got Juggernaut, he's going to have multi, and he's got an increased MP. Where Penta just has really, I guess he has increased all gem as well. So they're actually pretty similar in reversals. They have the same amount, just a little bit different reversals. And Rob is a hot tag. So those two can be comparable. If you don't have a Drip or Steve Stick, I actually think you could say Penta, especially if you have his gear. Geared Penta obviously makes him way, way, way better. Not having his gear does limit him a lot more. And not having his gear, then I would definitely say Eddie and Haku, I think, might be a little bit better than him at that point, and I think even Blackman might be. But Geared Penta, I think the only people I would definitively say is better than Geared Penta is Jay, Roman, Rob with everything, is probably who I would say. But even then, Roman and Penta are kind of interchangeable. It just depends on what you want. Do you want to hit harder, but you and required like +1 all and a link, so you really can't handle minus MP, or do you want to hit less with Penta, but MP isn't really an issue at all? I do think the best striker in the game currently is probably Jay, with gear and double rumble. He's probably going to be my 7-star striker male especially once I get him 4. But Penta, I think, is actually one that is good now. And considering the fact that I thought he was pretty bad, I don't hate him anymore. Like, he's really interesting. Obviously, now that I have his gear, it makes him way, way better. You know, did I have this? I hope I had this graphic on when I was talking about his gear. But yes, it is a lot. It is a lot of stuff. Again, I'm going to put this video out because, my God, I don't want to re-record this a third time, even though I had a power outage. It's just life likes to throw me in the way and not let me make Penta videos. So, yes, I do think Penta is pretty good. I will say one advantage that Penta does have over all the people I just mentioned, other than Rob. And again, we're talking Rob with Drip and Steve Stick. Hot Tag Showdown is going to make him hit pretty comparable to both. Maybe not Jay, because, well, Jay only does, I think, 1 billion at 7 stars. So actually, I would say it's pretty comparable, actually. And I think Penta actually might hit harder in tag matches than both of them. So I don't know yet because I haven't done really any hot tag shenanigans with him quite yet. And I definitely will, and I definitely plan on doing a hot tag with him. But for the most part, that is what I'm going to have with you. So that is my Penta Zero tricolor build. Again, it does require the 2 green rumbles to really do anything, but if you have them, this build does seem to be, to me at least, the way to go for him over the green-red-red build, or the unblockable way. If you want to run him unblockable, I think this is better than his unblockable. So, to me, this is his best build. Right? To me, this is best build. And again, you might be like, do I really want to sacrifice these 2 plates on Penta? Just keep in mind that this build can be shared actually with 2 other people. It can be shared with EO, the new one over the Moonsault. And you can also put this on Naomi Return of the Glow as well if you want to. So this belt actually can work on 3 people. So, and 2 of them came out this month. So again, a pretty interesting design and character. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff. Again, increase in multis is the strongest thing really you can do to get big damage in this game. The only real thing he has that isn't really going for him is, it does require 2 gem checker plates to make it work, instead of having more plates that increase like a 500% or something like that. That obviously would be way better. But 200% and multis, especially once we get up there and we can get, multi 12s. I can't complain at all. So yes, if you do have his gear, this could be the way, or obviously Santa Hogan instead, or if you have Leo, run Leo, and at 7-star, you would always have Leo and Santa Hogan, and if you want, swap in Mem. So again, multi, 13s or 15s pretty much all the time. I mean, the lowest with gear you'll ever have is 12s. And again, that's without the tag link. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you to everyone who is subscribing. We, not too long ago, we're just trying to get to 250, and now we're over 260 already, and the viewership has gone up significantly. people who are watching the shorts as well, the Bobby and Penta short, like that's up to over 700 views, which is kind of crazy to think about. Because I haven't seen that many views in a long time. It has been a while since I've seen viewership like that high. So it is amazing to see this channel grow even more. And this is my out of the box build for Penta Zero. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, I can't thank you enough for watching and enjoying the content. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And I will see you guys in the next video.